You don't need a dish to get a pizza, the action. Italian football.
Yeah, live, free and exclusive on Channel 4.
Now on for the return of football, American style.
It seems a long time ago that the Washington Redskins won the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. But now for all you football-starved fans, the long wait is over. The NFL is back. Hello everybody and welcome to our American football season preview here on Channel 4. Behind me, the Atlanta Falcons are preparing for their next game, as are the other 27 teams around the league. During today's program, we're going to take a look at what the 92 season holds for all of those teams, with a special emphasis on the big game coming up this weekend at Wembley. This year, you'll get your first chance to see the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Washington Redskins, and also the team of the 80s, the San Francisco 49ers.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
There's no doubt that since this game was announced, the star attraction that everybody's wanted to see was Joe Montana. After undergoing surgery and missing all of last season, he is still not ready to start. A question mark hangs over the future of one of the greatest players the game has ever seen. We'll have more news on Montana's status later in the program, but first let's return to the official end to last season. The AFC versus NFC Pro Bowl is played in Hawaii a week after the Super Bowl. The NFC players are wearing blue shirts and were coached by Detroit's Coach of the Year, Wayne Fontes. His opposite number was Denver's head man Dan Reeves, whose AFC players were in white. As a tribute to their respective teams and to help with identification, the players wear their club helmets. On the NFC's first possession, Detroit's Barry Sanders fumbled. The AFC recovered and turned it into 6 points when quarterback Jim Kelly found Miami's Mark Clayton with this 4-yard pass. It capped a 12-play, 56-yard drive and gave the AFC a 7-point lead. We now join the match on the NFC's next possession with a 1st and 10 at midfield. There's less than 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter as Chris Berman, Joe Theismann and Mike Patrick call the game.
Rippon fumbles to snap, tried to pick it up, then had to go down to save the football.
Well, 1 for 1. I mean, it is.
Right.
It's the most difficult thing that happens in this game is the quarterback-center exchange. And it seems so simple, but everybody has a different snap count, and you get used to your quarterback. I mean, I'm sure Jay Hilgenberg is used to Jim Harbaugh. Now he has to make the step to the right. And, of course, Mark Rippon's used to Jeff Bostic. And a week, 3 days is not an opportunity to get comfortable.
Ernest Biner is in for the first time. The single setback. 3 wide receivers top of the screen. 3-man rush. Rippon drills another one to Rice, who dives forward to the 34. It will be another NFC first down.
Can you imagine Mark Rippon? I mean, he's used to working with Monk, Clark, and Sanders, who are as good as they are, but except for Gary Clark, his posse's in here. But forget those guys. We're going to give you Jerry Rice and Andre Rison and Michael Irvin. Sorry, Mark.
Rice, really an off year for him, although he rang up some incredible numbers again.
It seems like when the 49ers don't make it into the championship game, you know, you call it an off year, but he continues to set records. Will probably next year break the touchdown reception record. I mean,
really an off year only by his own standards. Right. Rippon with the hot hand to Irvin, the top receiver in the National Football League this year. I don't think anybody played this season better than Michael Irvin. He's 21.
He's such a great contribution to the game. He's got a great personality. He's a fantastic football player. Here he just goes out, runs down around 10 yards, and then just hangs out. He just sort of hangs out. He says, well, he'll throw it to me eventually. Yep, here it comes. Now, nobody's here. Well, let me run up the field a little bit. And then it's the Pro Bowl, so let me run out of bounds.
Single season record for catches and yards for the Dallas Cowboys. 1st and 10 NFC at the 13. Rippon to throw again, and almost picked off in the end zone through the hands of Chris Dishman.
Well, he led Dishman perfectly that time.
And Dishman wants to win as much as anybody. He's got 9 people over here with him. He said, I've got to get the 10 grand just to cover the expenses.
What a turnaround he made this year. Chris Dishman, really noted as he's with Jerry Rice here, and he was in the right place, just couldn't bundle it up.
Well, he ran a route better than Rice that time. One thing you have to understand, too, is the sun on that side of the field creates problems for both the defensive backs and the wide receivers, because when they turn to look back to the quarterback, they're looking back right towards the sun. You see the way the shadows are pointed out that way.
Rippon back to the near side, complete to Irvin. Touchdown.
Redskins and Cowboys aren't supposed to get together like this.
Chris, I was just going to say that. What's so funny is I can see the people sitting back in Washington, because I know how much they don't like the Cowboys. And they got to be laughing, going, oh, my goodness, a Redskin to a Cowboy. You're right. Rippon doing a nice job of coming way back all the way across the field. Michael makes Gilbert make the miss and then just gets in the end zone before Greg Lloyd can knock him out of bounds.
Chip Lohmiller for the point after. Jay Novacek, the holder. The Cowboys tight end gets it down for the Redskins place kicker. And we're tied at 7. 2:42 to go in the period.
So the NFC pulls level. On the AFC's next possession on the first play of the second quarter, Jim Kelly, with this flea flicker, looked for teammate Steve Tasker. Instead, he found Atlanta's Deion Sanders. However, 2 plays later, Dallas quarterback Troy Aikman handed off to Ernest Biner, who failed to find a gap. He was brought down in the end zone by Ronnie Lott and Michael Dean Perry for a safety and 2 points to the AFC. Their next drive, this time led by Houston's quarterback Warren Moon, ended with Jeff Jager missing this 39-yard field goal attempt. With the NFC being unable to move the ball, the Raider kicker made amends late in the second period when he converted a 48-yard attempt to give the AFC a 5-point lead. We rejoined the game with just over a minute left in the half. The AFC are punting from their own end zone.
And a pretty kick. Gray has the seam. Down to the 35. An 18-yard return after a punt of 44 for the Lions' Mel Gray. John L. Williams made the tackle.
We talked about it. The tough thing to do in this game is to teach all pros how to be on special teams. They create lanes. You see, you've got offensive linemen running down. You've got linebackers. You know Derek Thomas hasn't been on a punt cover team in a while.
Rippon with time, dumps it. Emmitt Smith wrapped up the 31-yard line by Al Smith of the Oilers.
Nice tackle by Al Smith. He's been doing that all year. Unsung member of the Oilers.
Sure is. 143 tackles on the season. Rippon nearly picked off. Would have been a touchdown for Rod Woodson of the Steelers.
Woodson
intended for Irvin.
Woodson wants to play offense. He hasn't met with Bill Cowher. Of course, he was over here when Bill got named the head coach of the Steelers. But he's said when he gets back, he wants to sit down with him and he wants to ask him a question. He said, would it be all right if I played wide receiver? Based upon his answer, he's going to tell him whether he thinks he's a great coach or just another coach. If he says, no, you got to play defense, well, he's another coach.
3rd and 5 with 32 seconds to go. Of course, we saw Deion do it this year. And they'll whistle the play dead. Looked like motion at the snap.
You know, you mentioned Bill Cowher for a second. Replacing Chuck Noll, you don't just do that. You don't just step in and do that. That's a tough, tough spot.
Snap, number 76, false start, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Thomas Brown, the Detroit
Please
tackle.
reset the game clock to 32 seconds.
You know what I liked about Bill Cowher's press conference is he acknowledged Chuck's greatness, and he said he did it his way, and you can't ever take that away. He won 4 Super Bowls and all the things that the Steelers did before him, but he says, I'm going to do it my way.
I agree.
I think that's really terrific that he made that point. Said, hey, look, I can't do it the way he did it. I'm going to do it my way, and we're going to try and do it the best way we can.
3rd and 10, and since the opening drive that the NFC had and scored on, the AFC has done a great job on defense. Rippon with time, floats it up. Clark wide open, touchdown. So much for doing a great job on defense.
Well, you know, you can only hold them down so long. It's bombs away in that offense. Nobody's thrown bombs better than Mark Rippon and caught them better than Gary Clark.
Clark averaged over 19 yards a catch this year, 1,340 yards.
This is from our vaunted goalpost cam. We're bringing it right to you. Rip just hangs it up now. Clark gets tied up by Smith. Just hangs it up, makes the TD reception.
Lohmiller will try to make it a 2-point lead, and does.
So after dominating most of the half, the AFC trailed by 2. The third quarter was a period of missed opportunities. On their first drive, the NFC were faced with a 4th and 1 at the AFC's 3-yard line. They decided to go for it.
Sanders again, forget it. Derek Thomas just got outside the tight end. The play had nowhere to go.
On their next possession, Redskins kicker Chip Lohmiller had a chance to add to the score from 28 yards.
And he hooked it.
A costly miss, as at the top of the final period, Jeff Jager finished a 15-play, 71-yard drive with a 27-yard field goal to give the AFC a 1-point advantage. We rejoin the NFC's next drive midway through the fourth quarter. They're on the AFC's 39-yard line with Falcons' Chris Miller at quarterback.
2nd and 14. Draw, Emmitt Smith cuts it outside. Irvin and Rison both downfield blocking for him, and very close to another first down.
Emmitt Smith finally getting a chance to run. Thomas comes up the field, never really gets blocked. Now once he turns, also watch the good runner. See how he squares his shoulders. See how he puts the shoulder down and picks up 6-7 yards. You can't do it alone, though. There's Andre Rison out front. Michael Irvin being the complete football player, getting in the face of the defensive player.
It is a first down for the NFC.
Starting to rain.
That's liquid sunshine. Emmitt Smith, flag goes down at the 20. Junior Seau in on the stop, but a holding call will bring it back.
Well, the AstroTurf grows better if it rains a lot.
Yeah. 1st and 20 after the penalty. And Lomas Brown moves early. That will cost him another 5.
Number 76, false start. Still first down.
Now 1st and 25 for the NFC. Get all the way to the 14-yard line for a first down. Miller with Thomas coming, got away. Irvin, nice catch. Woodson wraps him up. Chris Miller with that elusive ability as Thomas had a bead on him.
Well, he's now set a record for yards receiving in a Pro Bowl, 126, and he's tied Largent's mark of 8 in one Pro Bowl. And
before he's done, he'll have a lot of records.
He's such a wonderfully gifted and great body. And none of these have been real easy. This ball's thrown high and away. He's going to have to go up, make an adjustment to go get that one. Great range, great power. The only guy in the league this year that you can honestly say did a good job against Darrell Green when the Cowboys beat the Redskins at RFK. He's the only wide receiver that had, I think, would have to consider an excellent outing against Darrell.
2nd and 12. Emmitt Smith, not much. Stuffed by Mecklenburg. Somebody who had one too many drinks with a pretty little umbrella in it ran out on the middle of the field and is now being escorted back to hopefully a padded cell.
Yeah, he's not going back to his seat, I can tell you that.
You shouldn't do that in a football game. 3rd and 12. Gilbert knocks it away from Rice. A flag is down, and it will be roughing the quarterback as Chris Miller was drilled by Derek Thomas. And that will keep the drive alive, and the AFC defense is really steamed about it. Of course, we had a fight the previous play and penalties against both sides.
They gave him 2 minutes each for roughing.
5 minutes to go in the game, and it's heated up. Watch the right part of your screen, number 58, Derek Thomas. Real time, real hit.
Whoa. Well, you get, you know, there's that old one-step thought. It looked like that's what he took.
He could have peeled off. I agree with that call. You know, one of the things that happens in a game like this, you not only got great athletes, you got great egos in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And normally you're not going to get 11 great egos on both sides of the ball when two teams match up. In this one you do. And everybody, they're good because they have the burning desire to win. And that's what they're trying to do out here.
And that will be a first down. Emmitt Smith tries to cut back the toss, picked up maybe a yard. Bennett made the tackle.
And you think that there have been some pretty decent number 20s on the Detroit Lions? Lem Barney, Billy Sims, Barry Sanders. If I'm drafted by the Lions, I want that number.
4:15 to go in the game. 2nd and 9. NFC trying to get the lead. Touchdown. Miller to Rice. Miller comes off the bench and engineers the drive to put the NFC ahead.
Chris Miller doing a nice job feeling pressure from his left side from Derek Thomas. Lomas Brown giving him enough time and room. Jerry Rice coming back in. Makes the reception. Atwater just a little late to break it up.
Low Miller for the point after. 21-15. The NFC recaptures the lead. 4:04 to go.
So the AFC trail by 6. And on their next drive,
a loose ball. NFC says they have it. Let's see they do.
So a chance for the NFC to seal their victory.
The NFC leads it by 6 at the 2-minute warning, and they have the ball 2nd and goal at the AFC 2-yard line. Chris Miller, the NFC quarterback. 2nd and goal. Smith can't get outside. Atwater wraps him up. It will be 3rd and goal. And our thanks to Chris Berman and Tom Jackson for joining us, getting out of the moldy old studio and coming out in the nice fresh air of Honolulu.
Ditto.
And to Joe Theismann, thank you very much, partner.
As always, buddy.
3rd and goal. Loose ball.
Well.
AFC.
Well.
Not only that, it's going to be a touchback, and they're going to wind up with the ball not at the 1-yard line, but at the 20-yard line.
That's right. So you don't need John Elway for a 99-yard drive.
See Miller now. Emmitt starts away. He's got the pocket, but the ball, and I've always believed that it's a quarterback's responsibility to make sure that the running back has the ball.
Well, a lot of people who were leaving are now coming back to their seats because there's 1:03 to go in the game.
And I'll tell you what else. This game is going down to the wire, and Emmitt bruised a little bit on the left wrist.
Kenny O'Brien in the shotgun. Throws behind. Ethan Horton incomplete. 59 seconds to go.
Well, that solves your center quarterback exchange problem. Put him back 5 yards. He's got some room to make a move with.
O'Brien playing in only his 2nd Pro Bowl.
I think what he has to do is he has to, on either this play or the next one, try and hit Tim Brown or Haywood Jeffries on a deep in pattern, because you know the NFC's playing a zone.
Haywood Jeffries is the name we haven't heard all day. And that one will be out of bounds. Jeffries makes that catch, but it won't count. He's had a 1 grab for 7 yards. Here's a guy who had 100 catches, only the 5th player in NFL history to do it.
There they are. You know, the starters, they sit down in the 3rd quarter and they say, I'll let the other guys go. Now all of a sudden they're looking at, well, 10,000? Give me my helmet. Where's my helmet?
3rd down. O'Brien with time, throws, and Brown can't come up with it at the 39. We'll go to fourth down.
That was the one he had to hit. See, that gets him up in the chance to throw the ball away, stop the clock with about 44 seconds to go. I'd come back with the same thing again, maybe to the other side.
You kind of wonder, and I'm not knocking Kenny O'Brien, who was, as I said, the last game of the season, tied a game, put it in overtime, then led him to the winning field goal. But you got Moon and Kelly. It's his turn. I guess beforehand, Dan Reeves said fourth quarter is pretty much yours.
I think Dan's done the right thing.
Facing 4th and 10 here. Bad snap, but O'Brien comes up with it. Trying to buy some time, throws behind Ethan Horton, incomplete. So the NFC wins it 21-15. Coming from behind Michael Irvin, the most valuable player here in Honolulu.
So another NFC victory, and they now lead the Pro Bowl series with 13 wins to 9. Since that game was played in February, there have been many changes in the NFL, including the biggest one-year coaching turnover since 1978. In the AFC, Ted Marchibroda is the new boss at Indianapolis. Colts fans will be hoping that the architect of Buffalo's no-huddle offense can do the same for Jeff George, as he did for Jim Kelly. One player that Marchibroda will not have to deal with is Eric Dickerson, who was traded to the Raiders on draft day. Two new head men in the AFC Central. In Pittsburgh, Bill Cowher moves in from Kansas City, taking over from Chuck Noll, the only man to coach a team to 4 Super Bowl victories. A former defensive coordinator, Bill will be looking to rebuild the famous Steel Curtain defense. Over in Cincinnati, David Shula, son of Miami's Don, has hardly been low-key. His decision to allow Bengal favourites Ickey Woods and James Brooks to leave on draft day has created quite a stir. Then with his first choice, he took University of Houston quarterback David Klingler. Least of all pleased was Boomer Esiason, who sees his career as far from over and thought the #1 pick should have been used on a much-needed offensive lineman. Bobby Ross has gone west. Formerly with Georgia Tech, Ross is the new man at the San Diego Chargers, replacing Dan Henning, who has moved to the Detroit Lions as offensive coordinator. Moving down the west coast from Seattle to Los Angeles is Chuck Knox, who is taking over from John Robinson at the Rams. Moving from the general manager's seat to the hot seat at the Seahawks is Tom Flores, a man of true championship pedigree, having steered the LA Raiders to 2 Super Bowl victories. With Flores for the second of those wins was former London Monarchs head coach Larry Kennan, who was reunited with Flores at Seattle as offensive coordinator. The NFC East is the only division with no new head coaches, but it does welcome one of the game's great names. Herschel Walker is now a Philadelphia Eagle. The running back who eventually cost the Vikings 11 players leaves Minneapolis a free agent, costing the Eagles only his salary. The 3 remaining new head coaches are all in the NFC Central and all protégés of Bill Walsh. Former Bengals chief Sam White is now enjoying the sun in Tampa Bay. One of his first decisions was to tempt the NFL's oldest player, the Chiefs' Steve DeBerg, to join the Buccaneers on Plan B. In colder climes is Dennis Green, who has replaced the retired Jerry Burns at the Minnesota Vikings. And in Green Bay, the Packers welcome Mike Holmgren as replacement for Lindy Infante. Mike was previously offensive coordinator at San Francisco, but for 6 years worked closely with the man who will get a huge welcome from the Wembley crowd, Joe Montana.
Well, Joe's going to be on the sideline. I don't think he's going to be able to play. In fact, I know he's not going to be able to play, but he'll be there. He'll be signaling plays. He'll be part of the team. But unfortunately, at this time, we're going to rest him up and hopefully have him ready for the last preseason game. A week ago, 10 days ago, they advised Joe to stop throwing. It was a little sore, and the recommendation is for him not to throw for a couple weeks, and he's got about another week to go, and it's feeling better, but at the same time, he won't know until he actually starts throwing again. They say the tendon is fine. What he did is put a little pressure around the muscles, around the area of the tendon of his elbow, and it's just going to take some time, and hopefully in a week's time that he might be ready to go again. Steve's his back is feeling better, and he's going to be ready to go this weekend.
Perth races this week in the beautiful grounds of Scone Palace Park. Free parking, full catering facilities, a great sporting day out at Perth races.
Texas Tom's tearing prices in half to clear out all his garden furniture and barbecues. Stocks will vary from store to store, so get there fast for the pick of the bunch. Now, All garden furniture and barbecues. All half price. This weekend at Texas.
Now listen, when you work hard and play hard, you need to quench that thirst. Fast. Eyes are starved. Isotonic it is. Soft it ain't.
Broad Squad. Tonight's episode, Smell My Wispy Nightie. Yes?
2 cones, please.
A hot tip led Sergeant Doré and me to Ascot. We mingled unobtrusively for a while before dividing forces. Doré checked the horse boxes. I checked the restaurant.
Okay, come on out. You're surrounded. Down as orders.
I'll have the Mediterranean prawns.
They're off.
Okay, I'll have the asparagus then.
And 50 to 1, bar.
That bar sounds crowded, Sergeant. What's this?
Cider?
That's not just cider. Broad Squad. Hey, you over there, in the shadows. This is Red Rock Draft cider. Less gassy, no strong aftertaste. It's a different kind of cider. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to accompany me. This is Red Rock Draft cider. Less gassy, no strong aftertaste. It's a different kind of cider. All right, Del Rey, take her down to the station.
Hi, Chief. Red Rock cider. It's not red, and there's no rocks in it.
Sierra Azura. At just 9,585 pounds, you won't believe your eyes.
There's dry, and there's arid extra dry.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, as the 1992 season beckons, the big question that still has to be answered is who will win the Super Bowl in Pasadena this year? Not since 1983 and the Raiders as a team from the AFC won. And I have to admit, I don't see a team from the AFC winning again this year. 5 AFC teams have new head coaches and must be considered outsiders. The Seattle Seahawks, who now have a man of proven ability at the helm, a wide-open offense courtesy of Larry Kennan, and of course the security of the Kingdome, unfortunately still lack leadership on the field. Of the possibles, Cleveland and New England need to improve in all facets of the game, and the Raiders need to sort out their low-scoring offense, and whether the inconsistent Jay Schrader or the inexperienced Todd Maranovich should lead it. The New York Jets were a surprise last-minute entry into the playoffs last season, but this year will be without one of their best-known veterans. After 18 years in the NFL, kicker Pat Leahy has decided to call it a day and finishes third on the all-time point-scoring list, behind NFL legends George Blanda and Jan Stenerud. Buffalo will be hoping to make it 3 AFC championships, but an aging defense and the loss of their offensive glue will count against them. Denver would have made the Super Bowl in January, but for some wayward kicking by David Treadwell. And Houston, now with a Central Division title behind them, could finally prove the run and shoot is legitimate. Miami's Don Shula, with a brand new 2-year contract in his pocket, is due a return to the Super Bowl. He's drafted well on defense and traded the fumble-prone Sammy Smith for Denver's unsettled Bobby Humphrey. But the strength of the league is still undoubtedly the NFC, and arguably its 2 strongest teams, the Redskins and the 49ers, will be on show at Wembley on Sunday.
Both clubs have a great deal of pride and a great deal of tradition, and have put together fine organizations here over the years. We've all had our opportunities, but obviously we've seen the success that they've had due to their great organization, and we've had the same opportunities due to the ownership that we have.
I think that in order to be successful at this level in professional sports, you got to have everything. And by that I mean a great owner. I got a heck of an owner. You got to have a great front office that goes out and gets you the players and works with you. I think that you got to have a great coaching staff, and I think you got to have. It helps to have a great fan atmosphere. We got a atmosphere in Washington. It's kind of like a college atmosphere, and so I think if you're missing any of those, you're not going to go. And I've been fortunate to get a job at some place where we had all those.
Yeah, our division has really changed a great deal over the past few years. Up until now, it's kind of been between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. I think those days are over. I think due to the fact that Atlanta is so strong now.
And the Saints are in a 4-3. Miller going to take it, go to the sideline to Haynes, who ran around a man to 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25. Haynes, touchdown, Michael Haynes.
They're playing such good defense, and as well, the New Orleans Saints are just outstanding and won the division this last season. So it's very, very competitive, and each one of us have a very tough job trying to win the division.
I think it's the toughest division, and for this reason, I think you've got the Giants are always one of the toughest.
Come on, baby, got ahead. Inside, high formation. O.J. to the goal line. No signal. It's a touchdown.
Most people are picking Philadelphia as having the best chance this year with the best defense and had their quarterback hurt. Now he's back.
Sherman, the single setback. Cunningham stumbles as he goes back. Now fires into the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by Keith Jackson.
Beat us in the last game last year. You've got Dallas, who a lot of other people pick, a young team that's on its way up.
All right, thunderous Philly crowd exhorting their defense. Play fake by Burline. First down pass, Novacek at midfield. Now to the 48-yard line of Philadelphia. Second down, 8, Dallas. With the Eagle 41, Burline to throw. Has time, throws to the left sideline. Irvin at the 25. Makes a move to the left sideline. Now around out into the 15-yard line. Brilliance by Michael Irvin.
Certainly went to the playoffs and has gone a little farther every year. And you've got the Cardinals now got their quarterback back healthy. And you've got us. I mean, you take that and you put that whole group together and you're black and blue when it's over with. You know, you hammer each other pretty good.
You know, when you're playing Dallas twice, New York twice, Philadelphia twice, and Phoenix twice, I think, you know, you're playing possibly the top 10 teams in the league collectively, you know, with them. So they're always up there. They're always very physical, and that's the one style of play that enables us to compete so well once we get out of our division and play other teams, the physical aspect. So they prepare us as much as anyone does.
The whole NFC East is strong. I mean, if I had to play the Philadelphia Eagles each week, their defense, I would probably have a very short career. They've got a great defense, and the whole NFC East is very strong. So, you know, we're going to have our work cut out for us as usual. I mean, it just doesn't matter what year it is. We always have a tough schedule.
I don't think you can point to anybody. Everybody in this league is capable of beating anybody else. You know, last year, a couple of teams we were the biggest favorites. We were having the toughest time with in the third and fourth quarter. You just never know.
I think it comes down to those interdivisional games. I mean, the games where you can win on the road in New Orleans or win in Atlanta. That's going to become the games this year. And I think if you win those at their place, then you maybe got a one edge up on the division lead.
Here's Montana throwing toward the end zone. Caught in the run by Cooper. He's got it. He's in the end zone. A 49er touchdown.
We busted our. We worked harder than anybody to get here. Nobody can beat us in a team, and it's worth $70,000.
Into the end zone. Garrett's there. Touchdown. Washington Redskins.
He got it.
Drink up that diesel.
Let's go, Diesel. 41.
There's the snap, and the rip is good. Oh, he's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
And the Miami defense just cannot cope with the 49ers now.
And the wrong one showed up.
Good afternoon from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. The road to Super Bowl 22 stops right here.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line. I formation. Play action fake. Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly. Midfield. He's gone unless they can catch it. The 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
We're coming back. We're going to do it.
Third down, 2 yards to go. It's Monk who loose in motion. Williams to pass, lobs it up. He's got Clark at the goal line. He's got it. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. First and 10 at the 42. He'll hand off to Smith, and he's back. Good hole. Midfield. Horse race to the 40. Far side 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Timmy Smith. Williams looks over that Bronco defense. Here he comes. Nope, faked out everybody. He's got Sanders in the clear at the 10. Touchdown. It's a new Super Bowl record. Williams is back. Lobs it into the end zone. He's got Didier. Touchdown. Holy cow. It's 34 points in this quarter.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown. John Taylor.
Second and 8. Typical 49er drive. Montana looked to Rathman, hits Rice. Rice scores for San Francisco. Second and 1. Montana going up top to Rice. Touchdown. Touchdown.
The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense every way a defense can be beaten.
Second and 9 at the 10. Rippon outside to Biner. Touchdown, Redskin. Third and 10. Biner is replaced by Irvins, and he's a lone running back. And Rippon is back to throw it. Going deep. Touchdown, Redskins. Clark. From 30 yards away, it's Rippon.
I was concerned too, but the interesting thing about this whole contract came down to this game, and I think this game had a lot to do with it. My wife was kicking me in the rear. She was looking forward to coming on the trip, so I think it all worked out. We were very close coming towards this week. And I think from that standpoint, I knew that if I didn't get in there this week, it'd be another week lost, and it was important.
Well, at the moment, Steve will start in this ball game and in preseason games, and we'll see what transpires from there. Basically, Joe, those are started. We believe Joe will be ready to go at the beginning of the early stages of the season. There'll still be a week or so before he throws the ball, but he's improving, and our sense of it is that he'll be okay, but in fact, that has to happen as of yet.
Normally in the first part of the preseason, we'd like to play some of our younger players anyhow, and we've got an excellent situation at our quarterback position with Steve Young and Steve Bono, and it's given Bill Musgrave, a person that hasn't had a lot of repetition playing in a preseason game, and it's given him the opportunity to play the last couple of games, and he's taken advantage of it.
We want to see as many of our young players perform as we can. We're getting into a situation here before too long where we'll have to cut down, we'll have to cut some players. So we want to be educated when we get into that situation. Obviously, you'd like to perform well, but we're not really into putting the team together as such. We're just looking at individuals.
We're continually changing things. You change a lot up here. And so there's changes going on all the time. But the keys are still have the great team chemistry. In other words, players have good feelings for each other. And we've had good players from last year, and we're counting on them carrying that over. Can you grasp that and get that again? Who knows? But like you say, we've had real good years after Super Bowls and real bad ones. So it's kind of like you got to create it every year and make it happen every year.
I really feel this is going to be a year where a lot of teams are going to give it their best shot. I can only speak for ourselves. If we stay healthy and we have the same attitude as I've seen in the off season headed towards this year. Usually in the off season you see a team maybe fall back a little bit and feel that, hey, they've got the edge and that they're going to kind of relax. But this football team hasn't done that.
I've made it very clear over the years this is the team that I think I could be the best quarterback with, so it's been worth the wait if I can start playing.
I love RFK because it's all over the place. It's hard. It's got a great atmosphere and hard to play there. But to be truthful, we need another 20,000 people in there. We need good skyboxes. We need a new stadium. And Mr. Cook needs it really to keep paying these salaries. So I'm for a new stadium, and hopefully we're going to get it someplace. It seems to be we picked a spot there. We just hope it can get built there.
We'll have more time to look at those teams and the upcoming season in our opening program on Sunday, the 6th of September. So until then, from a hot, humid Atlanta Falcons training complex, goodbye.
Get set. After the close of the 25th Olympic Games, Equinox goes behind the scenes of the most expensive and high-tech show business spectacular ever mounted, ranking alongside the Gulf War in complexity and intensity. 6 years of upheaval has resulted in a city transformed. But has Barcelona gained from the pressure of delivering high-technology services to the insatiable monster of the world's media? The Siege of Barcelona. Tomorrow at 7 on Channel 4.
Not quite so sunny, but just as much fun is Alton Towers, the destination next for the cast of Brookside.
Introducing the most affordable way ever to drive a new Rover Metro. Rover Select Finance. Call 0800 52 1020 for details.
Wake up! My parents fly back today! Who are you? Who are you? Who's she? Get these glasses! Come on, you stupid thing! Oh, no! Oh, hello, French polishers. It's just possible you could save my life. Mum, just landed. Oh, quiet. I'm on my way.
Now you can drive a Rover 200 for 2 years before you decide to buy. Rover Select Finance. Call 0800 52 10.